Hey everyone, in front of me I have the all-new PACKTALK Pro, which brings with it a new level of safety, sound, and style to the PACKTALK line. In this tutorial, we'll show you everything you need to know about it. The PACKTALK Pro comes with a crash detection sensor built into the module itself, so once installed on the helmet, puts it in the ideal location to know exactly if or when an emergency notification should be sent out. We've also made use of that hardware to add an auto on and auto off capability, meaning you go to pick the helmet up, unit will turn on, you go to put it down and it determines that it's not going to be used for a while, unit will turn back off. Pretty cool. With regard to music and the overall sound experience, this model really shines by coming standard with our top of the line 45mm Sound by JBL speakers. Now, as a long-range bike-to-bike intercom system, the PACKTALK Pro makes use of Cardo's second-generation dynamic mesh communication, which is the benchmark for the easiest and most reliable way to connect small and large groups alike. It can also connect with your traditional Bluetooth-based intercom systems with Live Intercom, which is the wideband self-healing connection found in other Cardo headsets, but also seamless connectivity with Bluetooth intercom systems from any other major brand. This unit comes with our patented magnetic air mount, completely wireless over-the-air software updates, natural voice operation, which allows you to control most parts of the headset just by telling it what to do in a variety of different languages, with a matte black exterior housing that's 100% IP67 waterproof and backed by a 3-year warranty. So we'll start with a quick unboxing to see what comes in the box and why. We'll then go over how to install it into a couple different types of helmets. And then we'll look at getting started with the PACKTALK Pro, setting up the crash detection settings, and the overall basic operations of the headset. Now, the PACKTALK Pro comes as a single only, meaning there's no dual kits, so I'll just grab one of these and let's open it up. Once you remove the box from the sleeve, just open the cover from the side, and that's where you'll find the PACKTALK Pro module sitting right there on top. Now, when you remove the tray, you'll see an assortment of documentation. I'll talk about that in a second. And below there is all of the accessories needed to install it in the helmet. We'll see what's going on in here as well. That documentation includes a flyer on where to find the Cardo Connect app. You're going to want to download that to your phone. That's how you activate the PACKTALK Pro for the very first time. It's also how you do your firmware updates and configure the device. An installation guide, which is picture-oriented and shows how to install it onto a variety of different helmets. You'll also find a QR code inside which links you to an installation video. A pocket guide, which is also picture-oriented and will probably be your best friend the first couple times you go to use it. This shows you how to operate all the functions of the unit itself and has a list in the back of all the available voice commands. Lastly, you'll find a safety and warranty card and a die-cut sticker. Now, of course, it's the module itself which is doing all of the hard work, but it's the pieces below that help make this whole thing happen. In that compartment, you'll find the magnetic air mount cradle, an adhesive option, and a clamp option for mounting that cradle to your helmet. A set of 2 powerful 45mm JBL speakers with 2 booster pads in case you need to bring those speakers a little closer to your ears. A hybrid boom microphone for open face or modular helmets, and also a button mic for full face and closed style helmets. 2 round Velcro for use when installing the speakers, and 2 rectangular Velcro for use when installing the microphone. A couple of alcohol prep pads to make sure things are nice and clean, and a USB Type-C charging cable. Let's now see how to install this into your helmet. For this, we're going to be looking at a full-face closed helmet and also a 3/4 open-face helmet. Keep in mind, if you're putting it into a modular helmet, it's the same as doing a 3/4 and open-face, and regardless of the helmet you're putting it in, there's never any tools that are needed. Now, if your helmet allows for it, start by removing the cheek pads and the headliner. Now, if you can't do that on your helmet, don't worry about it. It just helps to give you some more room to work. Looking at the right side of the helmet, we see pretty quickly that this helmet is got some cutouts designed for speakers. If your helmet doesn't have this, again, it's not a big deal. What we're looking for is just a place for one of your round Velcro in the general area of your ear for right now. So we'll do that on the right side. We'll do that on the left side. You can go ahead and grab your speakers and know that the one with the shorter cable is going to end up on the left side of the helmet. The one with the longer cable goes on the right side of the helmet. Most importantly with the speakers is you want them landing right over your ears when you put the helmet on. So with this helmet, we'll start in this location. If you need to use the speaker booster pad, you can put that in first to make that a flat spot, but it's always a good idea. Let's just start with one location. It's only Velcro, so we can always move it later. We'll get the left side put in. We'll move to the microphone. Now, anytime we're looking at an open face helmet like this or a modular helmet, we're going to want to reach for the hybrid boom microphone. Now we're looking at the inner left side of the helmet, and it's always a good idea to just grab the microphone and get an idea of where you're going to put the Velcro down before you actually put it down. You want to leave enough boom so that it can reach all the way in front of your mouth. This looks good, so I'll grab my Velcro. We're gonna put the first one right there and the second one right up front. Then we'll just take our microphone, put it right into place, being mindful to stay away from any buttons or snaps. In this case, we are good. And always just make sure this little arrow is facing the direction of your mouth when you go to use it. Over to our full face for a second. This has a chin bar. It's not going anywhere, so we're going for the wired button mic. For this, you're just gonna grab one of the rectangular Velcros and stick it right in the front of the helmet. Then we'll take the wired button mic and simply place it right on top. Again, just like speakers, location is everything, so start here. If it's too low or too high, adjust accordingly. All right, our speaker's in, we've got our mic mounted. Now it's time to mount the cradle to the helmet. The way to decide which method you're gonna use, adhesive or pinch, is by looking at this left side, kind of bottom rim of the helmet. If this edge is greater than 5 millimeters, or as in this case, you've got an actuator right here, you're not gonna wanna use the pinch. We're gonna use the adhesive mount on this helmet. First things first, whether it's a new helmet or an old helmet, it's always a good idea to take one of those alcohol prep pads and just clean the area nice and good. Once that dries, take your adhesive plate, get an idea of where you're gonna put it, and once you have an idea of a good location for yourself, go ahead and stick it on. And then when you're ready, just take the cradle and you're gonna slide it right onto that adhesive bracket, making sure you always get the click, which locks it into place. Okay, now back to our full face for a second. Now when we look at the left side of this helmet, this is nice and thin, there's nothing in the way. This is a perfect scenario where we would use the pinch mount. So we take the magnetic air mount, put these two together prior to putting it on the helmet. Basically you're gonna click them together like that, make sure it's locked in. And then looking at the left side of the helmet, kind of dead center, just kind of position it into place, start pushing it in using whatever force is needed until you get it all the way up nice and flush with the bottom. That's not going anywhere. Take a moment to plug in our microphone and speaker wires. And at this point, we're ready to start putting this thing back together. From here, it's all about cable management. There's always room inside of a helmet to hide the connectors, hide the wires. Everything should snap right back into place, and you shouldn't have any discomfort when you go to throw the helmet on. And now for the best part, just grab your PACKTALK Pro module, put it near the mount, and let it do the rest. To remove the module, you've got a little tab up front. Push that down towards the helmet, slide the module forward, and that takes it off. When it's all said and done, everything should look nice and clean, no visible wires hanging everywhere, everything looks sharp, and you're good to go. All right, now that we have it installed into the helmet, let's have a look at how to use it. The PACKTALK Pro has 3 activation buttons controlling media, mobile, and intercom. Around back, you have a clickable control wheel with an LED light in front of that and a USB Type-C port behind the rubber cover in the back. To turn the unit on for the first time, just press the media and mobile button together for about 2 seconds. And to manually turn it off, do the exact same thing, at which point it'll read you the battery status.
Battery status, 50%.
And of course, with this unit, that can also be done automatically. After manually powering on the PACKTALK Pro, the system's auto-on, auto-off capability goes into effect, meaning that if the PACKTALK Pro sits dormant without any motion for a short period of time, it will automatically power itself down. Simply picking the unit up, or just putting the helmet back onto your head, powers the unit back up again. Now, if you're gonna be putting the unit away for storage, or you're gonna be transporting it anywhere where it's gonna be bumping around a lot, we do recommend just powering it down using the buttons. And of course, you can deactivate this auto on-off capability in the Cardo Connect app if you'd like to. Before going to use the PACKTALK Pro for the very first time, you do need to make sure that you activate it, and you do that via the Cardo Connect app. In order for that to happen, we've got to make sure that you pair your phone directly to the headset. Now, you can pair up to 2 devices directly to the headset itself. Now, this could be a phone and another phone. This could be a phone and a GPS. Others may choose to have a single pairing directly to the bike. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that the PACKTALK Pro is in the correct pairing mode. I'll show you those now. To pair a mobile phone, just press and hold the mobile button down for about 5 seconds until you hear phone pairing.
Phone pairing.
Then just go to your phone's Bluetooth menu. And when you see PACKTALK Pro show up, go ahead and select it.
Phone connected.
If you'd like to pair a second phone to the headset, just press and hold the mobile button.
Phone pairing.
Then roll the wheel forward.
Second phone pairing.
You'll hear second phone pairing, then just do exactly what we did on the first phone to pair up. If you're going to be pairing with a standalone third-party GPS device, just press and hold the mobile button to get into pairing mode.
Phone pairing.
and then tap it one more time.
GPS pairing.
Then just go into the GPS settings, find the device, and go ahead and pair with it. And finally, if you want to ready the headset to pair directly with the bike itself, if you have that option, just press and hold the mobile button.
Phone pairing.
And then roll the wheel backwards.
Bike pairing.
Now bike pairing. Now we would go to the bike's menu, select some language about pairing to a headset, find the PACKTALK Pro, go ahead and select it. One last thing on this topic, if you find yourself in the wrong pairing mode,
phone pairing.
Say we're
second phone pairing.
Second phone pairing, we don't want to be there. You can always cancel the pairing by just pressing and holding the mobile button for about 2 seconds.
Pairing failed.
And then we can start over. Activating the unit is straightforward. Let's go to the app. The very first time you open the Cardo Connect app with a new PACKTALK Pro, you're going to see a screen requiring you to activate the unit. After that, you'll see a screen to name the unit and then to select the unit language. Now, if there's an update available for the PACKTALK Pro, it will tell you so on the next screen, and it's important that you run that update in order for us to then set up the crash detection settings later. In this case, I'm up to date, so let's keep going. All right, now we see the crash detection screen. Let's get started. On the first screen, you're going to see a few important notes, including a heads up that the crash detection is currently optimized for on-road situations only. Next is the permissions screen, and on an Android phone it may look a little bit different than this, but it's important to note that each one of these permissions needs to have a little check mark like that in order for crash detection to work. I've got one open right now, so if I go ahead and select that, change to always allow, I've got the check mark, I'm ready to move forward. Next, we're going to assign the emergency contact. Whoever you put here is the one who will receive the notification in the event of a crash. So let's go ahead and do that. Allow access to contacts. Okay, my emergency contact is assigned, and the setup is complete. We're done. We'll now have a chance to run through a simulation. So if something happens, the rider's going to hear inside the helmet that a crash was detected, and a 30-second timer is going to start. Now, if everything is fine, you can simply press any button on the unit itself, or just simply say the word ignore to cancel that timer. If by chance you have the app open, you can just simply hit cancel, I'm okay. And then there's also the option to send that notification immediately if needed. Let's finish. On the very last screen, you have an example of the emergency SMS that'll go out to your emergency contact, and that text will include a clickable link to show the location of the incident. Click done, and we can now see that crash detection mode is on. Everything is set up and active, and if I go back to the home screen, we also see at the very top there, we're up, we're running. Now that we're all set up, it's important to note that you don't need the Cardo Connect app open or even running in the background in order for crash detection to start automatically. As soon as the PACKTALK Pro is on and it remembers and repairs with your phone, you'll hear inside the helmet that crash detection mode is on. If for some reason it didn't start automatically inside the helmet, you'll be notified that crash detection mode is off, and then you can go into the app and see why, correct what's wrong, and reactivate it. On that note, if you're going to have two mobile phones paired directly to the PACKTALK Pro, you want to make sure that Cardo Connect app is only installed on one of those phones. One last thing, you can change it from being automatically activated every time you turn the unit on to manual if you'd like. Just go to here, manual, let's hit save.
Crash detection mode off.
All right, now if we go back to the home screen, we can see that crash detection is off. If I'd like to start crash detection, simply hit start ride.
Crash detection mode on.
We now see that crash detection mode is on, it's active. As soon as I go to select in ride,
crash detection mode off.
Crash detection is now off. Again, this is designed for on-road use only, so if you're going to be using it off-road or moto or ORV, this is a good option to deactivate the crash detection for the time being. Let's have a look at some of the main functionality. To increase the volume, just roll the wheel forward. To decrease it, roll it backwards. Or you can also use the voice commands. Hey Cardo, volume up. Hey Cardo, volume down. Now, at any point, if you'd like to mute your microphone, you can do so by tapping the media and intercom button together. The mic is now dead, and that's super helpful when you're riding with other riders and you still want to be able to hear them, but you don't want anything coming from your microphone. To undo that, it's the exact same action. The microphone is back live again. Of course, we can do that by voice as well. Hey Cardo, mute microphone.
Mute microphone.
The mic is now dead. Hey Cardo, unmute microphone.
Unmute microphone.
And we're back. And lastly, to pull up your phone's voice assistant, whether it's an Android or iOS, just simply tap the mobile button one time. That pulls it up. Tapping it again would make that go away. We can also make use of natural voice operation. If this was an Android-based phone, I could say, "Okay, Google," to pull it up from my helmet, or in this case, "Hey Siri." And we got it. In most cases, your phone's voice assistant is the best way to make an outgoing phone call, but there's other things you can do directly from the headset. For example, if I was getting a phone call right now, I could ignore it by just rolling the wheel backwards, or I could answer it by tapping the mobile button one time. I can also just say into the microphone either answer or ignore. Once I'm on the call, simply tapping the mobile button again will end the call. I could also say, "Hey Cardo, in call," to do the same thing. And if I'd like to redial my last number, it's a 2-second hold on the mobile button, or I simply say, "Hey Cardo, redial number."
Redial number.
You can also set up a speed dial number, and for that, we go to the app. In the phone section at the very top is our open slot for a speed dial, so we'll go to Set. I'll look up the contact that I want to put there, select them, hit save, and that's now my speed dial number. And once we have that saved, I can either double tap the mobile button or simply say, "Hey Cardo, speed dial."
Speed dial.
Now when it comes to listening to music in the helmet, you can stream it via Bluetooth from your phone or another connected device, or make use of the built-in FM radio. I'll show you how to do both. Streaming music to the helmet is pretty straightforward, and we don't need the app open or really at all in order to do it. I just have it open here so you can see what's going on inside the helmet. So to start the music, just tap the media button one time. To skip forward to the next track, tap it one time. We'll tap it again. To go backwards, 2 taps. And to stop the music, just click the roller wheel one time. And we can also do all of that via the voice commands. "Hey Cardo, music on."
Music on.
"Hey Cardo, next track." "Hey Cardo, previous track." "Hey Cardo, music off."
Music off.
Now, you also have the ability to share your music with a passenger. In order to do that, you need to go over to the Intercom page, switch your unit over to Bluetooth intercom mode,
Bluetooth intercom mode.
and make sure that the person you're intending to share the music with is paired with you on that Rider A channel. That's the case here, so let's go back to DMC intercom mode.
DMC intercom mode.
And when we get back to the music page, I can either tap that music share icon, that's an active button, or I can do a 2-second hold on the intercom button, or of course, issue the voice command to either start or stop sharing the music. If you're gonna make use of the unit's built-in FM radio, then setting it up through the app's probably the easiest way to do that. Well, I have the FM page open now, and you can see our MT6 presets. If I press on one of these, that will add the station that I'm on into that preset. Let's do it again on this one. And then if I press and hold on any preset, I can change that to whatever I want. Just hit done. Make sure you hit save up in the top right. And then up in the top right again, we have this option for auto-tune presets. That's really helpful when you're out in the middle of nowhere. You have no idea what the stations are. It'll load the 6 strongest stations into your presets. Then to turn on the FM radio from the headset itself, instead of 1 tap, which is for music streaming, it's going to be 2 taps.
108.
To skip to your next preset is another single tap.
87.5.
And just like music streaming, 2 taps to go back.
108.
When it's time to turn the FM radio off, just click the roller wheel 1 time. And of course, you can do all of those things via voice command as well. And lastly, if I wanted to switch sources between the music streaming and the built-in FM radio, I can do that as well by doing a 2-second hold on the media button. So let's start some music, single tap. If I'm going to switch over to the built-in FM radio, it's going to be 2 seconds.
87.5.
That's now the built-in FM, and I can switch back by doing the same thing. Now I'm back to the music. Now let's take a look at the intercom side of things. PACKTALK Pro has 2 different intercom modes. The one is DMC intercom mode, which is the mesh. The other is Bluetooth intercom mode, which is there for the times where it's just you and maybe another Bluetooth intercom only headset. Now I'll show you both, but if you have the option, always choose to connect in the DMC. It's far superior in almost every way. Grouping the headsets together in DMC mode is easy and it is fast, and it doesn't matter if it's just 2 of you or 5 of you or 15 of you, the process is always the same. Now you can do this using the app. I'm going to show you using the buttons. Press and hold the intercom button.
Grouping initiated.
You'll hear grouping initiated. Now everybody can do this at the same time or
Searching
one at a
for
time.
group.
Doesn't matter, but I'm doing the same thing on this headset.
Searching for group.
And once you see it go purple like that, it's in the group. We'll do it with this one as well.
Searching for group.
That's in the group pretty much immediately. And once it realizes nobody else is joining, it creates the group.
Grouping succeeded. 2 group members connected.
And you're done. There's a few capabilities of a DMC group like this that are worth mentioning, and I have the intercom section of the app open so that you can see what's going on. Inherent of DMC, once you've created a group, everybody will be able to hear and talk to each other automatically. For the times when you'd like to remove yourself from the conversation, simply do a 2-second hold on the control wheel to mute the audio. You'll no longer hear them, and they will no longer hear you. When it's time to get back into the conversation, simply hold the control wheel again for 2 seconds and you'll be back. We can of course do that directly from the app as well by tapping the mute button at the bottom right. Now speaking of the app, here's our group of 3 that we just created. Here's our 2 members sitting on the table. Now had our members name their devices, those 2 names would populate here, and the one with the little lock symbol is the one that's associated with my private chat. Private chat, when activated,
Private chat on.
creates a one-on-one conversation between those 2 units without any effect on the other riders. They're all still talking to each other. And if I go to
Private chat off.
turn it off, now it's back to the conversation of these 3 units. If I go to select the PACKTALK Pro,
Private chat on.
that's now a private conversation between those 2 units.
Private chat off.
And you can see that the lock symbol is now associated with PACKTALK Pro. Meaning that if I didn't have the app in front of me and I couldn't just tap the member that I wanted to talk to, I can activate private chat by tapping the intercom button 2 times and it will reach out to that member who has that lock symbol by their name. If any member of the group receives a phone call, perhaps from another rider with different equipment or anybody for that matter, you can share that phone call with the rest of the group by just doing a 2-second hold on the intercom button. And if any member had a passenger using just a normal Bluetooth intercom, in this case a Freecom 2X, you can add that person into the overall conversation. If this headset wanted to do that, we would simply go to Add Riders, Pair New Passenger.
Rider A pairing.
We take our other Bluetooth headset, put it into its intercom pairing mode, and we wait for these 2 to connect. Once they've paired with each other, I'll do 3 taps on the intercom button to bring that person in. There we go. All 4 of these headsets are now talking. If I do it again, that boots that one out. For the times when DMC is not an option because you're looking to pair with Bluetooth only intercom headsets, that's when you need to switch the PACKTALK Pro from DMC intercom mode to Bluetooth intercom mode. You can do that by selecting Bluetooth on the app or pressing the upper and lower buttons together for about 3 seconds.
Bluetooth intercom mode.
The PACKTALK Pro is now in Bluetooth intercom mode. It's acting like a Bluetooth-based headset. In this mode, you can pair 1 headset on your Rider A channel and 1 headset on your Rider B channel. Now, the PACKTALK Pro can pair with any other headsets from any other brands, and that other brand may or may not need to use its universal pairing, but on your side, the process is the same. Always, just go ahead and hit pair.
Rider A pairing.
So we'll take our first headset, put it into its Bluetooth intercom pairing mode, and wait for those to pair up.
Rider A ready.
Okay, those 2 are good to go. Let's say we want to add a headset to Rider B. So let's go ahead and put that into pairing mode.
Rider B pairing.
We'll take our second headset, put it into its intercom pairing mode. And same thing, we wait.
Rider B ready.
Perfect, so we've got a rider on channel A and a rider on channel B. Now to activate the intercom connection with Rider A, it's just a single tap of the intercom button. The intercom's now open, those 2 headsets are talking. Single tap again to close it. And if I wanted to talk to Rider B, it's 2 taps. Intercom's open, 2 taps to close it. There you go. And of course I can talk with both of those simultaneously as well. And finally, if for some reason you just need to reset your unit, you can reboot it by pressing and holding the intercom and media buttons together for about 10 seconds. Once you see that red LED flashing, you know that the reboot was successful. Or you can reset the unit back to factory settings by pressing and holding all 3 buttons for about 10 seconds. Doing so will wipe out any of your device and intercom pairings and give you a nice place to start over. It will, however, keep the latest software version. That's it, and you can always visit our website for more information. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.